So these are the following things that we will cover today. So one thing that we will try to do is we'll try to understand the impact of generative AI in general. Uh, as we know, generative AI is impacting every domain. So my idea will be to highlight two, 3 pointers with respect to Gen AI and travel or Gen AI and entertainment industry, how it is impacting, two, three talking pointers on that. And we are going to use AI agents in this session today. So I will talk about AI agents very quickly. So what are AI agents and how you can use them to create some good applications. And then I'll try to cover two types of travel agents. So one, I'll try to take a basic travel agent where you would just ask it to give you a plan and it will search the internet and give you the plan one by one. And after that, I will try to show you how you can create an advanced travel agent where a travel agent, AI travel agent, will talk to you at every step. So you ask it to create a trip plan. So it will create a plan, it will ask you for the feedback and then incorporate it. So you can basically have a chat with your travel agent in this advanced way. So if you are someone who is willing to stick till the end, so what I'll do is I'll take some travel photos and we will try to edit the travel photos. We'll try to change the background. We'll try to change the color of the dress. We will add some other effects on the images. So that is what we will try to cover in the end part, which will be the bonus part. So today, as mentioned, we'll be talking about how you can create your travel assistant with generative AI. So let me start with a quick introduction of ourselves. So first of all, my name is Satvik. I'm the founder of Build Fast with AI. I'll quickly talk about what we do, but a little bit of background about myself. So I did both my bachelor's and master's from IIT Delhi. So I graduated in the year 2019. Then I went on to work for a couple of multinational banks in data science and risk analysis domains. But my love was always in education domain. So while I was still at IIT Delhi, I co-founded an NGO where we were primarily working with a lot of kids to help them prepare for STEM subjects. So we, so my primary interest in teaching and education comes from my experience as a social entrepreneur back in my days. And this was my first stint as an entrepreneur during my college days. Then, as mentioned, I had my fair share of corporate life for around 3, 4 years, where I worked in a couple of different roles in data science and other stuff as well. So currently, I am running Build Fast with AI. Build Fast with AI is an organization that helps individuals and companies leverage generative AI to the fullest. So one personal experience for me is in my second innings as an entrepreneurship, I wanted it to be something that I really want to do and really love to do. So with Build Fast with AI, I get to combine my love for teaching as well as data science and AI. So that is what we do at that is what Build Fast with AI is all about. So if I were to summarize our activities in a single slide, I can just show you this thing. So at Build Fast with AI, our motto or maybe our primary goal is to enable AI ideas to reality. You can be a company or an individual. If you have some AI ideas, we will help you make that a reality. And how do we do that? So we do offer a lot of courses. We do a lot of free workshops like the one that you are attending right now. And we also do a lot of consulting and corporate training as well. So these are some of the initiatives that we actively do at Build Fast with AI. So currently we are a community of more than 12,000 members across channels. And till date, over the last 18 months or so, we have organized more than 100 workshops on different topics on generative AI, ranging from simple AI agents to chatbots to fine tuning to RAG and so on. So you name it, and we have probably done a session on that. And we've also helped more than 10 plus startups and corporates with their Gen AI transition. And me and my team have collectively built around 150 plus generative AI applications, uh, anywhere ranging between simple POCs to complicated apps that are being used by lakhs of people today. So this is our background about generative AI. This is our background at Build Fast with AI. So now I would like to quickly talk about one program that we are launching, which is starting next week, which is from December 1st. So I'll talk more about this initiative and how this is going to help you. But the idea is very simple. So if you look at if the November, if you see this date, 30th of November 2024, so it will exactly be 2 years since ChatGPT is released, right? So in the 2 years, you have seen like around 200 million, 300 million people have started using AI. And there are some thousand AI unicorns that are being built. So all of this is happening. All of this has happened in the last 2 years, just. So 2025 is going to be a very big year for AI, where we'll probably see AGI or artificial general intelligence, and breathtaking number of announcements will happen in the next year, without a doubt. So you will have to be ready for all the changes that are happening in generative AI in 2025. So what we have done is that for everyone, before going into 2025, we want to help you get upskilled in generative AI. So we are launching a course specifically for the month of December for anyone to get started with generative AI journey. So I'll share more details about the course and how you can register. And we also have some special offers that we are giving for this month that you can avail. So first of all, let me just talk about the first part as to impact how generative AI is impacting every domain. So we see you take any sector that is there, you see generative AI is impacting that. You take software development. So what earlier used to take, so let's say for developing a website or maybe doing some software task. So what used to take 1 month and let's say 5 people, people now are able to do with one person within let's say 1 or 2 days, right? So this is the amount of productivity gain that we are getting, almost 100x productivity in software development. So sales, you can see that people are just creating voice agents to take the call. So it is already happening in many places. So very much possible. Maybe the penetration is not too much in India as of now, but if you going forward within few months of time, maybe in next year, 2025, my guess is good number of calls. I can't say a percentage, but at least 20%, 10% is the done thing. So 10 to 20%, or in good cases, around 30% of the calls that you are going to receive on your phones will be through AI agents. And one part is you will not even be able to identify whether you're talking to an AI or that. So sales is something that this is changing, and education is where AI has a lot of impact in terms of personalizing education. And if you have attended some of our previous lectures, we have created a finance AI agent to automate your investment decisions. We have also developed a healthcare assistant, a fitness assistant that will help you with your exercises and nutrition plan. So there are a lot of effects that are happening. The idea is, if you know generative AI, you can actually, even though you don't have a lot of experience in any of those domains, you can just quickly use generative AI to uh, make yourself better in that task. So, but the topic of today is travel or entertainment. So that is the theme, right? So we'll try to create an agent today, or maybe a generative AI system that will help us with our travel or entertainment. So one thing that you need to notice, let's say as of today, if you were to, let's say, plan a trip to some country or maybe some location, so you have to do a lot of steps. So you will have to first research for a nice location. So let's say you have decided one place that you want to visit, let's say Tokyo. So what you need to do is you will need to search for what is the best time to visit. You will need to search what are the best places to stay. What will be the average charge of the hotels there, and maybe what would be the logistics of going there and coming back. And there are a bunch of different things that you have to do when you do travel, and a lot of it will take a lot of time, and you would not be very good at it, right? So you can't possibly search all of the internet. So you will just type something on internet and you will probably see the first 3 4 links, but that will be it. But whenever you are using a generative AI agent, so if you just decide one place, if you decide the place that you want to travel, AI can take care of figuring out what are the best dates to travel, what are the best places to stay, what is your itinerary, or like let's say if you want to visit there for 5 days, so what will be your itinerary starting from day 1 to day 5, and you can also customize it based on your preferences. So all of this, if you were to do it yourself, it will probably take at least 1 2 weeks of planning easily, right? But with the AI agent that we are going to develop today, we will try to do the same within, let's say, 30 minutes. And yeah, running the AI agent will only take a couple of minutes. But the thing is, you never take AI's output at the first go. You try to use the tool multiple number of times. You give it good instructions and then finalize it. So the idea is not to automate everything to everything where you don't do a single thing. The idea is you be more productive. You do, let's say, instead of taking 1 2 weeks, you probably take out 1 hour, but do plan everything start to end very well. So that is the goal. And this is the kind of application that you can expect that we will build today. So you can also try this app along with me. So this is the link, genetravelplanner.streamlit.app. So I'll just show you how this works. So let's say I talk about the same example, right? Let's say I want to visit Tokyo and I want the basic plans. Tokyo, Japan. So whatever things that I've mentioned in the start. So what are the best time to travel? Where are the best places to stay? What is the itinerary? Some general links where I can read about some important links. All those things should be done. So if you were to do this with, let's say, Google search or something, it will take a lot of time. But within 1 minute, you see that we have created a good travel plan for us. So it talks about the best time to visit, which is September to November. So probably this should be a time where you should travel. And AI has a problem of hallucinating, right? So how do we know that AI has not hallucinated in this? So it is also giving us the sources. So it is giving us the sources where if you want to recheck whether AI has given the right answer or not, you can just click on the link and go and check it for yourself. And it is giving some top attractions and activities that you can do there, and it is giving some luxury options, mid-range options, transportation options, and estimated daily budget. So this is the budget plan that we have, and the total budget is something like this. And it also, one good thing about this is that it gives you links to everything so that it is grounded in truth, and it takes care of all the plan itself. So instead of you having to write multiple queries on Google, searching them and researching them and put together, so this will all happen within a single step. And this is even better than ChatGPT, right? So even though whenever you're using ChatGPT, you still have to chat with it a multiple number of times, right? Ask it to, maybe the process will be simpler, but you still have to ask it multiple questions. So in this, all I had to do is to simply write which place I want to go, and it has generated a decent enough plan for me. So this is what we will try to develop in the first part of the session. So let us get started with that. But I would like to tell, so what is the reason? So for building this, so why are we not using a simple LLM? So like we have GPT, we have Chat GPT, we have Llama models. Simply using a GPT model would not work for this task, because whenever for this particular travel task, so we are having to do multiple different steps at a time. So it's not, uh, so if you go to Chat GPT, you can ask it what is the best time to visit Tokyo. It will give you a plan, but it can't think along that direction, right? It can't hold a conversation for a long amount of time where it is autonomously taking a lot of decisions. But we are going to use AI agents instead of using a simple GPT or LLM models. What we'll be using is we'll using an AI agent that can perform these complex tasks step by step. So they have capability of remembering the conversations that they have said, so they can also remember the goals that you have given them, right? And they can access internet, they can access some real-time data through APIs, and it can also do a lot of web search. So whatever uh, information that you're getting is not outdated. Let's say with most LLMs that you're using, they have a cutoff date. So let's say GPT model has a cutoff date of October 23. So it does not know anything that has happened after October 2023. So it might so happen that a particular location in Tokyo, so that is closed for visitors, or maybe there is a new place that has propped up in the last 1 year. So you would not know about it if you're using simply an LLM. So that is where we need AI agents, where we can connect it to some latest data to get latest results. And the most important part is ability to perform multi-step process. So it is able to research the document. So you can't see the entire thinking in this app, but what it is doing is it is going and searching internet for multiple different things. It is identifying all the information from internet and based on our goals. So I have created a prompt template to design the goals. So it is using all of them in backend and creating the plan for us. So as a user, I just have to give it a goal and set up some rules here and there. And AI agent will take care of itself. So it will think about, okay, now I have the place. Now I'll have to search for the hotel. Now I have the hotel. Let me check the price. Is it in the range? If it is not, then I'll do this. So all of this process is happening in the backend that you are not programming yourself. So that is how an AI agent would generally help to perform complex tasks autonomously without a lot of intervention. So that being said, what we will do is we'll try to develop a basic travel agent. So what this travel agent does is it uses a GPT model, and I will also show you how you can use a Llama model for it. We will take a simple GPT or Llama model, and then we will try to use internet search. So we will give internet access to these models, and we will also give it a certain set of instructions to follow, right? So let's say whenever you are asking for travel plan, there are 100 things that a model can do, or maybe you could do. But let's say for my application, I only need these 4 5 things. I need best time to visit, top attractions, hotels, and transportation options. So let's say my preference is only this. So how can I plan that? And what we'll do is we'll build it using a library called Phi Data, which is again a simplest way of building AI agents. So as long as you can understand plain English, you will be able to create an agent with Phi Data, right? So that is what I'll try to show you, where I'll show you how I have coded this application that you see in front of me. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll try to create a travel planner using AI. So let's say I wanted to write some good comments on the notebook, but I forgot about it. So I'll just try to use AI to write some instructions. Okay, so I've just asked AI to write a description for the notebook so that it is easy for me to explain. Okay. So this notebook actually shows you how you can create an AI-powered travel assistant using Phi Data library. So what we will do is we'll use OpenAI's GPT model and we will use DuckDuckGo search. So Google search is actually chargeable, so you'll have to pay through an API. So that is not something that we will use in the session. We'll use a free version of the search to create detailed travel itineraries, and we will create some destination recommendations, and we will answer some travel related questions. So this is what we will try to do in this lecture. So first of all, I'll just need to install these libraries that are needed. So I think I've already have them installed, so it won't take any time for me, or I don't even need to run that because it's already installed. So then I'll need to save some API keys. So these are the API keys for OpenAI and Grok. So the Grok API is for Llama model and the OpenAI API is for GPT model. So these are my API keys, but these will be deleted of this after the session. So no one can use these. Okay. So now what we will try to do is the idea of developing an agent. We are planning to develop a very simple agent, right? So nothing fancy. So in this, what we want to do is we will, let's say I'll show with ChatGPT, uh, a simple version of ChatGPT which does not have access to internet, let's say. So let's say create a travel plan. So it is giving some plan, but you can see it is just giving us an itinerary. It does not have a lot of details. So if you want to give it some details, or maybe it does not know that if any places are closed or open also. So this is not something that we can directly use. So you can still use ChatGPT for planning, but as you can see, the first output is not very usable. We'll just need to ask it a bunch of different questions. But when we are using AI agent, we can just skip all these steps and we can just mention all the instructions at one place for the agent to follow. And we don't know whether whatever instructions that ChatGPT has given are the latest results or not. So we wanted to actively search web for popular articles in popular places and then give us some recommendations. So that will give us some confidence. So that is not being that is not possible within ChatGPT, as you can see. But in our application, what we are going to do is we are going to take a GPT model itself. We are going to take an underlying GPT model, same as the ChatGPT. GPT-4o Mini is their latest and smallest model. We will combine it with internet search. So whenever you are asking some question to GPT model, instead of relying on its own knowledge, it will go and search internet for some relevant links, and then it will fetch us some answers. So developing this sort of an agent, if you're doing it all by yourself using simple OpenAI library or even LangChain, it will take at least 20 lines of code, or maybe you have to figure out a lot of things like memory and other parts by yourself. But the benefit of using Phi Data or maybe similar agent frameworks is that you don't have to worry about setting up a lot of things. You just need to give the base instructions, which model you want to use, what are the instructions and tools, and you are done with creating the agent. So creating a travel agent is again a two-step process, or maybe just a simple process. So what I'm going to do is I'm just importing the assistant module from Phi Data. Since I want to use OpenAI model, I'm using OpenAI chat. And I want to use DuckDuckGo search, which is a free alternative to Google search. So I have imported all these three modules. And in the first place, I'm defining my travel agent. So the travel agent's name is Travel Planner. And this model is powered by GPT model. And this model now has access to internet through DuckDuckGo search. And we are giving some instructions to the model. So what are the instructions that we are giving? So whenever I'm planning travel, so I want these five things to be satisfied. So researching for destination and providing up-to-date information, uh, finding popular attractions, accommodation preferences, local transportation, and budget. So these are the five things that I want in my itinerary always. So let's say if there are some specific recommendations or maybe preferences that you can have, you can just add one more line and just write it as you wish. So as simple as that. So now we have created a travel agent for ourselves. And in the next step, what we will try to do is we'll try to create a simple prompt template and we'll try to wrap it up in a simple function. So what I've done is I have taken this generate travel plan, I've created this generate travel plan function, which will take destination as the input. And it will also take the duration as an input. It will, let's say you can say Tokyo, Japan, 5 days. So the prompt that the model or agent will use is create a detailed plan for Tokyo, Japan for 5 days. Include the following things. And this prompt will directly be sent to the travel agent. So let me run this. So running an agent within Phi Data is very simple. You just need to define the agent that you are creating. And this is the simple prompt that I have created. You can just say run. And now, as you can see, this travel agent will start working. So it will take the goal or maybe the idea. So this is the goal that we have given the model, right? So create a detailed plan for Tokyo, Japan for 5 days. Include the following things. Earlier, let's say if you wanted to find all of these things, you will have to do a separate Google search for each one of them, one by one. But in this, as you can see, once you have given the prompt, the model itself is understanding that okay, these are the five things that the user wants. So I might have to do five Google searches or five DuckDuckGo searches, and it is doing searches by itself. And after it is doing every search one by one, it is fetching the results and looking for what is relevant from them. So these are the five things that we mentioned. So it is doing a Google search or maybe DuckDuckGo search on all of them. And then it is giving us a final summary, as you can see. So it's telling best time to visit is spring and autumn. And these are the periods where weather is pleasant, making it perfect for sightseeing, which is great. And top tourist attractions are here. And one good thing about this is that if you look at ChatGPT's output, it has just given you a simple link. So there is, if you want to follow up more, if you want to look at some images or something, you don't have an option there. But in this, you can see that there are some links given. So you can just click on any link that will take you to the actual link so that you can cross verify or read more about it. And it has given you some recommended hotels, it has given some luxury options, some budget options, and others as well. So this is simple. So if you were to do this all by yourself, it would have at least taken, let's say, 3 4 hours for you to do all this. But with an AI agent, you can see how much time it has taken. So you have taken like 45 seconds to actually create this plan from scratch. So that is the amount of gains that you can get. So let's say even if you are very fast in your travel planning, let's say you take 45 minutes, the using an AI agent effectively can decrease the time by 60 times right off the bat, even if you are taking a conservative 45 minutes. So that is how easy it is to create a AI agent and give it some instructions and use it. So let's say you don't want to use a GPT model. So GPT model is not something that you want to use. Let's say you want to use a Llama model or maybe a different model. So how can you do that? So within Phi Data itself, they have different connectors. So let's say whenever you are using an AI agent, so there are two main components, or maybe three, four main components for AI agents. My screen is blocked here. Okay, let me just reopen this. Okay. So whenever you are creating an AI agent, so there are few components that you need to have for sure, right? So there is an LLM that you need to use. There are some tools that you need to have. There is some memory component that you need to have. And depending on the complexity of agents, you have a bunch of different things as well. But these are the three core parts of developing any agent. So earlier for our agent, we have used a GPT model. You might want to use a different model. So you can also shift from that. For tools, LLM's knowledge in itself is not sufficient for our purpose. So we have given it access to internet also. We can also give it access to some web scraping tool, so it can scrape some popular articles and also fetch some results from that. And memory is something that we are getting as a bonus when we are using these libraries, so you don't have to worry much about it. So let's say if you want to shift tool, so instead of you don't want to use DuckDuckGo search because you feel that it is not very good, you can shift it to Google search just by changing a line of code. And similarly, if you want to shift from a GPT model to Llama model, you can also do that. So what I'm using a service or maybe a provider called Grok, so which actually hosts Llama models for you, and they are available through an API. So you can just create a travel agent now instead of using a GPT-4o model, GPT-4o mini model. So what is the model that we'll be using in this? We'll be using a Llama 3.170B model. So which is one of the latest versions of Llama models that we have. And just run this. Now let's say I want to generate a travel plan for San Francisco for 5 days, or let's say I only have 2 days, so I want to create a plan for it. So you can see that based on our instructions, it is always following the same step. So there is no, whenever you are using AI agents, the problem is controllability, right? So what happens if agent searches for random things, does some random things? So you don't have to worry about that because whenever you're using these frameworks, you can define what it has to do. So it is for even for Tokyo or even for, let's say, something like other location as well. We can see that it is following the same step one by one. First, it is searching for these things, and then it is giving us some good responses. So this is how you can create a travel plan agent using by connecting it to internet and giving some simple prompts. Okay. Now, what we'll try to do is let us try to create an AI agent. So I have created this interface, as you can see. Now, using this interface, so I have created the backend code, which is fine. So let's say I'm asking it to generate a travel plan, and it is generating a travel plan from scratch. But let's say I don't want it to be residing only within my code. So as I have shown you, so I have this app link that I want to share it with anyone. So if anyone wants to use it, they should be able to share it. So there is no point of keeping everything in my code. So for this, let's say I want to create an app, right? But how do I create an app out of this? You can choose any framework that you want, like Streamlit, Fast API, any React framework, web development framework, anything that you have in mind, and you can create an app from scratch for it. So, but in this lecture, I just wanted to show you how you can. So, as I just mentioned, you can use software development to develop apps 10 times faster or 100 times faster. So, that is what I want to show you. So, let me create a new file. So, what I'll do is I'll just create a new file, travel app2.py. So, what I'll do is I'll just use AI to ask it to create a travel plan for me. I'll ask it to create an app for me. I'm just copy pasting my code. And I'm using this IDE called Cursor, which will help you develop AI agents very fast. Sorry, AI apps very fast. You can just press Control K, just copy the code that you want. And I'm just saying instructions. So create a Streamlit application to use this, create an a Streamlit application for travel agent app. So I have just supplied it the core code, the main piece of code or whatever is there. I try to submit it to it, and I'll ask it to generate code. So it will create something for me from scratch. As you can see, it didn't take any much of effort. So it has written some 80 lines of code uh, with just a simple instruction. So this is how wonderful it is, right? So you can, if you leverage the power of AI, starting from thinking about an idea to writing code to deploying an app. So what otherwise used to take, let's say, weeks of time can probably done in minutes. So let us check if the app that AI has created for us is working or not. So even in reality, so I have only created this piece of code before the lecture. So let's say 20-30 minutes before the lecture, I thought, okay, why if I can create an app that everyone can use, that would be beneficial. So this was the same process I followed. I just opened a new file. I used AI to I asked it to create a new app, and I just deployed it within like 5 minutes. So let us see this if this is app is working or not. Streamed it run travel app 2.5. Okay, I think the folder is wrong. So it has created another app. So this is an app that is sitting in the local host, so that you know that it is not something that I have created. So let's say you want to change the interface of the app. You want to design the app a little bit differently. You can just control and say, give a better design to this app. So you can see based on my instruction, it is just processing. So it has changed some markdown files. It is changing some design as per what we want. So let me accept it. And let us see if there has been any change in the app that it has given us. Okay, not much change. So let me try again. Let me close this. Okay, sorry, I didn't save the file. So you can see, right? So now this is a cool app to have. So where would you like to go? How many days you want? What is your budget? What is your travel style? So give me a perfect travel plan. So you can see that I was able to, I just had an idea. I just didn't think the design that I've created was very good. And within a couple of seconds or so, as soon as I have a thought, I'm able to create something. And what I'll do is maybe after the session, you can look at the same link, but now I'll redirect it to the new app. So that is how quickly you can iterate and develop things with AI. So any questions on this so far? Creating a travel agent using AI. So it's again, at the end of the day, if you count the number of lines that we have used to write this code, so it's only what, like 10, 15 lines of code, out of which half of them are results only. So these are all instructions. So if you don't count these, effectively you are able to create an AI agent under 10 lines of code. So that is how easy it is. So even for someone as me, is there a, so even if you don't know coding, whether you will be able to follow or not. So you should just be open to learn a little bit of Python here and there. And it's amazing what you can build with how little, like just by using simple functions or simple variables, you can build a lot with Python and generative AI. So yeah, so these are some things that you will also get to learn in our course. So our
Mm-hmm.
6 week course, where the entire fifth week is dedicated to helping you learn to code. So even if you are someone who is not, let's say, coding heavy, or maybe does not know, you might be familiar with coding but can't develop full apps by yourself, or
Right,
maybe want to do something very fast. So
right.
you can use a lot of AI tools to do this. So this has
Mm-hmm.
been my primary workflow. So this is only like 10% of AI that you can use in coding. So there are a bunch of other tools and features that we generally cover during our course as well. So whenever you're using AI, so you can expect some bugs here and there. But
Right.
the best part of AI is you don't have to debug it yourself. As you can see, I have, so just before the lecture, I've created some slides with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see I was debugging it. So I got some error. So I just gave it to AI, whatever errors that I'm facing. So within
Mm-hmm.
like, uh, so this is the error that I was facing while deploying. I just asked it to give me a solution. It gave me a new solution and I just went with it. Okay. So what we will try to do is, let's say one most important part of any trip is clicking photos and posting them here and there, right? So let's say if a photo is not good, or maybe you want to make some edits, how can you edit your photos using AI, so that they are Instagram ready, or maybe whatever platform that you're posting, they are ready. So I'll show you how you can do that in a short while. But since we are already over time, so I'll just try to cover a few things and then I'll come back to the bonus part and I'll then take more questions as well. So yeah, before going to the bonus part and taking more questions, so I'll just need 2 minutes of your time. So it will be almost 2 years since ChatGPT is being launched, and many people. So you might have already made some of your workflow changes, or maybe some changes in your life because of AI, in terms of your productivity and how you do your job lately. But if you are already doing that, then it's great. But if not done that so far, then you are going to fall behind. So in the since last 2 years, since ChatGPT has released, so uh, at least 300 to 500 million people have started using AI, right? That is almost 10% of the world has started using AI. So if you remove some parts that don't really have access, so a good amount of urban population, at least 50% of the urban population in the entire world, have started using AI in one form or another. But from my personal experience of interacting with hundreds and thousands of people, I have noticed that not even 1% of people who are using AI are using AI effectively, right? So just like I have mentioned, so all the coding tools that I've mentioned are almost free for anyone to use, right? So I'm not a technically I'm not a developer, but I'm still able to develop websites far faster than many backend developers would do because I'm using AI. So even though there are 500 million people who are using AI as of today, not even 1%. So 1% is also an exaggeration, but even less than 1% are actually able to use AI to their benefit. And this year, so let's say in when the first year when ChatGPT came around, people were just experimenting or exploring to see what is like they're just understanding the technology. Last year was all about experimenting different things, new libraries, new frameworks, or something. In my experience of seeing generative AI for the last 2 years in very closely, so I have a feeling, or maybe I can say it for sure, that 2025 is going to be an year where you will see a lot of AI adoption across enterprises, across companies, and everywhere. So you should be ready to pick up generative AI, not just for your personal productivity, but also to keep your job secure. So sooner than not, things will change. But we want to. So keeping this goal in mind, so we are getting into a new year right now, and keeping this goal in your mind, so we have created this generative AI launchpad 2025. So this is a program, this is a 1 month program that will condense our, let's say, all the 6 weeks, or so we have conducted over 8 cohorts of our course right now. So we are going to condense all that into a digestible 4 week program where you will get access to more than 100 videos. You will have access to some doubt solving sessions and all. So this will be a course starting from December 1st, which will help you prepare for a very big year in AI that is yet to come, right? So we also have some year-end discounts that we are giving on the course, where you can learn all many things starting from agents. So agents in today's lecture, I was only able to cover Phi Data in little bit detail. Crew I just ran through, but in our actual course, if you look at the actual course that we cover, so we cover around 6 to 7 different AI frameworks, and we cover tens of other different applications with agents. And there is an entire module dedicated for you to build applications from scratch. So even though you are a non-coder, you will be able to develop it. So this is the platform that you will get access to. So we start with basics of Python. So even if you are someone who is just starting out to code or maybe doesn't have a lot of experience, so we have a 6 module course that will take you from 0 to 1 in generative AI, and where we have multiple different modules created for each of them. And the agent module that you have just seen, so we have an entire series of videos. So someone asked about how they can build AI agents without using any code. That part is also covered. So how can you build AI agents without using any code? How can you automate your Excel with GPT? How can, so we also had around good number of data scientists or maybe data analysts in the call. So we also cover some advanced AI tools that will help you with data analysis. So all of these tools, 6 weeks, almost 30 different topics, each topic with around 4 to 5 videos is something that you will get access to. And around 15 projects are something that you can develop this thing. So the idea for this launchpad is that to get you ready for 2025. So it's already late if you have not started learning generative AI. I would say that you are already kind of late to the party, but we will help you cover that gap with our generative AI launchpad. So if you are someone who's interested in knowing more about this course, uh, and if you want to sign up, so we also have some year-end pricing, and we want to uh, keep it very limited, only to 25 people. So Launchpad 25 will only have 25 seats, and we already uh, have like few seats are already taken. So we are closing the seats very fast. So if you want to sign up for Launchpad 25 at an exclusive discount, you can just say hi on the chat. So we will note your name and we will send you the promo code to sign up. And you can also have, so if you want to have any quick chat with me or anyone in our team, you can also do that. So if you are interested in signing up for the Generative AI Launchpad 25 program, so you can just say hi on the chat. We will send you the details to sign up, and we will also give you some exclusive codes, promo code that will help you get this at a discount. So I'm going to use a tool called Ideogram Canvas. Uh, there are also some free tools that are available that can do this, but I thought this is somewhat effective. I wanted to edit my own photo, but I thought it wouldn't be as interesting. So here I have a photo of Virat Kohli. I don't know where he is, this location, but how I let us try to take the same photo. And instead of this background, let us try to change it to Paris maybe, or maybe Eiffel Tower. So let us see how we can do that. I'll need to do this thing. So I don't need to be very accurate because AI is intelligent enough, but let's not take a risk. So let me just select it as much as I can. Perfect. So let's go to next and let us say change the background to Eiffel Tower in Paris. So even if you have this feature can also be used, let's say if there is someone standing in your background and you don't want them, you can just select and ask AI to remove that. So that should also work. So, so this is the image as you can see. I hope both of them are realistic as you can see. So it's very hard to tell the difference if you look at the image for the first time. So it's very difficult for you to tell. So you can use this technique. So you can go to this tool called ideogram canvas. So whatever photos you have, if you don't have a proper alignment, let's say the photo earlier was good, but this chair doesn't look great. So what I can do is I'll just select this and say remove the chair. So it will take a couple of seconds, but it's worth the wait. So we see that there is something disappearing in this. Yeah, so it is replaced with some trees. So that is also great. You can see the original photo and the photo otherwise. So this is how easy it is to develop photos with AI. Yeah, so this is how you can just create some posters, you can take some photos, you can edit it, you can just do a facelift up, you can just make someone thin, you can make someone fat, you can remove people in the background, you can change colors, you can change the locations as you can see. Uh, so yeah, so this is the tool that you can use. And if you want to use a free version of it, but it's not very advanced as this one, you can use firefly.adobe.com and use a feature called generative fill within it. So you can also get the similar functionality from that tool as well. Okay, so these are the parts that I wanted to cover for the session today. So just to reiterate, we are launching our flagship program as a condensed version for you to get started with your generative AI till 2025. So if you are interested in signing up or want to know more about the course and want to get the exclusive discount for the new Launchpad 25 program, you can just say hi on the chat and we will reach out to you. Okay, I think thank you everyone for joining the call today. It's been great. Hope you all learned something new and hope to see you all in our future courses and workshops. So until then, we'll meet you.